What's one thing that you would change about sim racing forever? We're the sim racing expert to ask your favorite sim racers that exact question.
Right, so one thing that I would change about sim racing is I would my life.
I think it should be a level playing field.
It would mix things up, I think, a bit.
That's a loaded question, but
I would put that shit in a fire or burn it, blow it up.
Which is exactly what we're doing in this video, so while you watch it, I want you to imagine having the superpower of changing literally anything with just a snap of your finger. Once you've got something, let me know in the comments. Now let's get into the video.
One thing I would change about sim racing would be esports having a practice limit before the actual race. So if the games could somehow limit to like 10 hours of practice for each player before the actual race, I think it'd be way healthier for everyone.
One thing that I've always had trouble with is just the practice, the infinite practice time. A lot of competitions, I'd say maybe like limit the amount of time you can practice. I think sometimes it's nice to have to jump onto a competition and see who can get up to speed quickly who hasn't done 5 million laps of practice.
So everything would be so much nicer. It would be less painful. So instead of just sweating thousands of hours, which I don't think is good for anyone. So that's what I would change.
For me, I think it should be a level playing field for everybody in competitive ranked sim racing. Regarding how you sit in your car, should it be in the cockpit, should it be chase cam, should it be hood cam? Because I've done some tests and it's easier, for example, using hood cam in the rain. Visibility is better. So I think everybody should have the same viewpoint just to make it level playing field.
If I could change anything in sim racing, it'd probably be two things. Number one, for something fun, allow us to run tracks in reverse. Because if you've ever tried it in like private testing, it's hilarious. It's a lot of fun to drive a track in reverse, something we can't do in real life. The second thing would be having a system where you have more responsibility if you damage your car or crash into somebody. So there's more accountability for driving standards. So I think that's something everyone would appreciate.
The online racing, there are so many more people racing now, but the driving standards, they can be a bit dodgy at times. So I think developers would really help us by spending more time on moderating the behavior of drivers, penalizing those who are a bit rough. And I think there are tools with AI and with all the data the sims have to moderate the driving standards better. That's it.
What's one thing you'd change about sim racing forever?
I think sim racing tries to chase this realism a little bit too much. We should just get rid of the limits that we set ourselves, and also the sim racing titles, how they set the limits to themselves. So maybe just think outside of the box, be more creative, do more fun stuff. That's maybe something that I would like to change forever.
Honestly, the one thing I'd change in sim racing, just to have a bit of fun, is power-ups. You know, it'd be good to like drop bananas, throw mushrooms or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. It would mix things up, I think, a bit.
so one thing I'd love to change about sim racing forever. That's a loaded question, but I would love to make it so people have simulators like at a LAN party, but they control real cars. Zero latency. So you can have the sim racing, and it correlates exactly on track. It's a wild idea, but one day if it happens, just know it's my idea. They could crash, the damage, the fire, it's all there. But people are saying in sim rigs, that way people could drive upside down because there's no risk of life. Just saying. Just saying.
One thing I would change forever in sim racing is that every game has perfect physics.
I think we need to get professional esports sustainable. So go down with the prize money, increase the number of competitions, increase the diversity.
I have to think. Damn. Okay, I have to think because that's a very deep question. One thing that I would change in sim racing forever is it needs to be standardized so that anyone who wants to race in real life needs to prove that they put the time in the simulator before, because it's going to improve real life level from the base level. It's going to push that up. And then it's going to improve the racing environment. Not on the top level, yeah, these guys are good, but on the medium level and on the amateur level in real life, it would improve the racing dramatically.
Right. So one thing I would change about sim racing is I would remove the word sim cage from existence. I would put that shit in a fire or burn it, blow it up.
because I think like it's such a bad way of describing something.
Yeah.
It's because like it's a bit of a cop-out for explaining something lacking simulation value. You should explain why it does, not just that it does.
Okay. Now, if one of these changes were actually implemented into sim racing, I'm sure it would look completely different than what it currently does. We would have some of the funniest and craziest races in the whole world. Now, how many of these things are actually going to be implemented? That's another thing. This video was more of a food for thought, a hypothetical question that can maybe lead to improvement somewhere in the sim racing space. Who knows? I've been Marcus. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.